On the shores of the Menai Strait, with views over to Snowdonia, this surely has to be one of the most beautiful locations to grow your own. In the shadow of the imposing castle, the Beaumaris Allotments on Anglesey have been established for over 100 years. From flowers, to grapes, to vegetables, it's all grown and shared here. Now, this plot is run by Dennis Evans. He's known as the grandfather of the allotments, and he's even got a Lifetime Achievement Award. I hope he's put the kettle on. Dennis likes nothing better than a cup of tea as he surveys his plot. In the summer sunshine, it's the perfect spot to sit back and relax after a hard day's gardening. Well, Dennis, you make a good cup of tea.
You're more than welcome to enjoy it. Yes, I
really
hope you do with the sunshine.
It doesn't get better than this, does it? A cup of tea in the sun in your allotment.
Yes, indeed.
It's a lovely spot.
Yeah.
Now, everybody I've spoken to has said Dennis is the man they go to if there's a problem. And you can sort it out. You're sort of like the cornerstone of these allotments.
Only gardening problems.
Yeah, but
yes.
that's what it's all about here, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I must be one of the oldest on the plot now. And I started gardening at about 6. The veg I grow, I give away mostly to friends and family. So it's just, I love gardening.
And that looks like a fruit tree behind you.
Yes, that's a cooking apple. It was here when I took the plot over. You pick the fruit in October and it's absolutely gorgeous. There's another apple tree next door up the top, and that's a Bardsey Island apple tree. And I put them both together when I'm cooking. Apple crumble, preferably.
Crumble.
And there are blackberries just there, so it's a blackberry and apple crumble. My favourite.
The tea's a good starter, but I think we need to get on with the crumble.
Yes.
And just a few metres away are Joan and Bill Hopkin. They've been creating something wonderful here for over 30 years, and Bill was instrumental in bringing the formerly run-down allotments back to life. It looks fantastic. You must feel really proud of that.
Yes. When I first arrived, nobody knew anybody else. People were here at different times, and people very often weren't spending much time here at all. So we had barbecues, we had annual competitions to see who grew the best veg. We had competitions for the number of vegetables successfully grown, and flowers, tallest sunflower, all of which meant that people got together.
What is it about gardening, growing things that's so special?
Yeah, for me, it's always planning ahead. If you're gardening, you're always planning to do something in the future, maybe near future, maybe the far future. And I think it helps with people with mental health. If you're planning ahead all the time, you're looking forward all the time, and it's one of the most important aspects of gardening, looking forward to the future.
The community here seems like a really strong one. Like, you all support each other, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, we've known some of the people here now for 30 years. You can come up the track, hello, and sometimes it takes you half an hour to get to your plot because you talk to so many people on the way up.
And the one thing that I haven't really mentioned to people is the view. It's just amazing. You've got this beautiful view of partly the castle, but then over into Menai Strait.
Yes, that's right. And we sit on our bench and we enjoy it, yes. It's really fantastic.
And on such a beautiful site, there are plans to share it even more with the wider community too. The Beaumaris Allotments have a long association with the town. So as well as growing a huge variety of fresh food, a new project is taking shape. This area is a community plot, and all the food grown here will be shared with others. And Rhian Hughes from Medron Morn is here to tell me more. Well, Rhian, I can see that some work's been done there, dug up the ground, but there's some work that needs to be done here. What's happening in this garden?
It all started a couple of months ago, where I approached Beaumaris Allotment to see if they were interested in coming on board with the project with the local authority to set up a community allotment project where they grow the vegetables, they grow the fruit, and all the produce is actually taken to our local, it's referred to as D.W.Jones, which is an organisation that help out with people that are in need with different food and things like that, with the food in conjunction with the local food bank.
Schools and community groups will all be invited to come along and get involved. So you're getting young people in, probably some who wouldn't have a garden, wouldn't have plots to grow food, so they're getting great experience.
And there also, I think, is an important thing that I think everyone has to consider, is the skill set that the people in the allotment have. They're totally transferable to, I think we're at a position where we need to transfer that to the younger generation. The experience that they've got, the information they've got about how a potato grows, as simple as that. You know, so, and at the end of it, it's very much a worthwhile cause, and unfortunately, as things are going at the moment, you know, the food banks and D.W.Jones is very much in demand.
Over at Jilanka's plot, the flowers are just beginning to bloom. The new life echoing the ethos of the allotments of embracing new things. It's much more than just a series of gardens, isn't it? It's a community.
It is indeed. We have every age range from youngsters right through to, you know, quite elderly people. And the whole ethos of it is that we all support each other, and also as part of the bigger community, not just Beaumaris but the whole area, that we are there to help people, support them, and obviously during lockdown this has been a major help to so many people with mental health issues. A lot of the houses in Beaumaris, because of the nature, don't have gardens. And so people are able to come here, even if they can't manage a lot, they can have a chat with people and go and see Dennis and have a cup of tea and leave feeling an awful lot better, which is lovely.
And just walking around, it just feels like you've all got each other's back. So if someone's struggling with something, someone else will come and help. It just feels like that here.
Yes, it is indeed, it is. And we're having the new communal plot. I mean, that's lovely now that we'll have somewhere for, again, perhaps people that have had to give up their allotments after many years because they physically can't manage. Now they've got somewhere they can just come even and have a cup of tea and talk to the youngsters who are starting off and pass on their help and information. And so it's hopefully now that we'll get even more people included in it.
Now, these vines are grown by Kevin Anchor. On this side, they produce a rosé, and on the other, a sparkling white. Kevin is Jill's husband. How do the vines cope with the soil here, with the weather here? Because you initially think these things should be in France or the south of France.
I've had 108 kilograms of grapes off the white, and I've had 85 kilos off the red. So now that's not a bad yield for such a small pot.
And how many bottles of wine is that?
108 bottles of wine for the white.
Wow.
And 85 bottles for the red.
For just this small plot here?
That's right.
Well, it'd be rude to not give it a try, wouldn't it? I mean, I've been smiling all day around the allotments, but I'm smiling even more now.
That's what all the hard work is for.
I haven't done much hard work. You have. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that's really good. I mean, I'm no connoisseur, but I can't tell the difference between that and champagne. Very nice. Maybe Anglesey's the new France.